Is there an American ethnicity? When people talk about ethnicity in America, it tends to have a hyphenation. You can be African American, Indian American, Irish American, etc. But is there an ethnicity that requires no hyphenation? Is there an American ethnicity? To explore this question, we must first ask ourselves, what is an ethnicity? Ethnic identity is an essential part of being human. Ethnicity binds people together, connects ancestors to descendants, and enables rich cultural traditions. An ethnicity is, generally speaking, a large group of people with shared ancestry, language, culture, and traditions. For example, the Dutch people are an ethnicity. With time, it is common for groups of people to diverge, and new ethnicities can be born in a process that is known as ethnogenesis. When the Dutch settled in South Africa in the 1600s, their descendants, isolated from their homeland in Northern Europe, slowly changed and became a new people, the Afrikaners. A similar thing happened in the Americas. The English people settled in Jamestown and in Plymouth at the beginning of the 17th century. After 2 centuries of living in a new land and a war of independence, they no longer saw themselves as English, but as Americans. This is another example of ethnogenesis. The English people living in America had not disappeared, but had transformed into a new people. In the centuries that followed, other ethnicities came to America. Some assimilated into the American ethnicity, such as the Germans and much of the Irish and the Scots. Others remained more distinct, for example the Italians, who to this day often see themselves as being ethnically Italian. Other ethnicities were born right in the Americas. A notable example is the African American people, which is descended from a mixture of various enslaved African ethnicities. With large-scale immigration to the U.S., there began to be more of a civic concept of what it meant to be an American. At present, being an American is often conceived of as being an American citizen, regardless of one's ethnic background. I argue, however, that just as American citizens can be ethnically Mexican or ethnically Chinese, so too can they be ethnically American if they are descended from ethnic Americans. Ethnic Americans are a new people, currently in the process of finding their identity in the midst of massive social, economic, and technological change. Many feel alienated from their roots, and many feel as though they have no culture. Modern influences, including consumerism and popular culture, have eroded their traditions and their communities, weakening their ethnic identity. The aim of this channel is to show the deep roots of the American people. Although they only diverged from the English a few centuries ago, they did not pop out of nowhere in 1776. The American people have a history as ancient as any other people, and this channel will illuminate ancestral American traditions, culture, and history. Much of the material will apply to the English as well, as both peoples have a shared history. Other material will apply more specifically to the American people after their ethnogenesis. Just because a people has been cut from its roots does not mean that those roots are gone. As ethnic Americans reconnect with their roots and rediscover their ethnic identity, they will be able to access the cultural richness and sense of belonging and brotherhood that is their birthright. Looking ahead, they can create a future for their people. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos exploring the history, traditions, and culture of the American people, then please leave a like and subscribe.